When a team that's been dominating the Big Ten suddenly falls flat, fans sit up and take notice. That's exactly what happened in Madison, Wisconsin, where the Badgers were handed a stunning 27-10 defeat by Maryland. This wasn't just a loss. It was a wake-up call. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this result signal a deeper issue with Wisconsin's coaching strategy or roster depth? Let's break down how the game unfolded and why it's sparking debates across college football circles. Maryland came into the match as underdogs, but left as kings of the early season narrative. The Terrapins, 4-0, 1-0 Big Ten, have now outscored their first four opponents by a combined margin of 130-36, a staggering achievement that already matches their entire win total from last season. At the heart of their success was Malik Washington, a true freshman who delivered a masterclass in his Big Ten debut. Washington didn't just throw 2 touchdown passes to Shaleak Knotts, won a 9-yard strike in the second quarter, and another 62-yard bomb that capped a 99-yard drive. He also added a rushing touchdown, showcasing his dual threat potential. His stat line, 18 completions out of 34 attempts for 265 yards. Meanwhile, Knotts hauled in 3 passes for 80 yards, and Octavian Smith Jr. added 6 receptions for 113 yards, proving Maryland's offense is far from one-dimensional. But here's the part most people miss. Maryland's defense was just as dominant. The Terps recorded 6 sacks, a blocked field goal, and even a blocked punt, each of which shifted momentum in their favor. Wisconsin, 2-2-0-1, meanwhile, struggled to find its footing. The Badgers trailed 20-0 at halftime as the home crowd chanted "Fire Fickle," a direct jab at head coach Luke Fickell, whose record now stands at 15-15 since taking the helm. The frustration was palpable. Could this be the final straw for Fickell, or is this a temporary slump? We'll dive into that later. The quarterback situation for Wisconsin only deepened the chaos. Billy Edwards Jr., the Badgers' transfer from Maryland, was expected to face his former team in a dramatic twist. But injuries derailed that storyline. Edwards, who hadn't played since spraining his knee in Week 1, started the game but was quickly replaced by Danny O'Neal. Edwards returned for 1 play but limped off, raising questions about his readiness and the team's depth. O'Neal, a redshirt freshman, went 14 of 22 for 120 yards with an interception. But he was backed by an offensive line featuring 3 true freshmen. The result? A disjointed attack that couldn't keep up with Maryland's precision. And this is the part most people miss. Wisconsin's mistakes were catastrophic. A high snap led to a 23-yard loss. And Messiah Delhome's blocked punt gave Maryland the ball at the Badgers' 28-yard line. Washington capitalized with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Knotts, extending the lead. Even when Wisconsin had chances to score, they squandered them. A stalled drive at Maryland's 35-yard line in the first half turned into a 48-yard catch by Smith, setting up a field goal that closed the half. By the time the Badgers finally scored a 33-yard field goal by Nathaniel Vakos, the damage was already done. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Was this loss a fluke, or does it expose Wisconsin's vulnerabilities? The Badgers' upcoming schedule doesn't get easier. They'll face number 21 Michigan, Iowa, number 1 Ohio State, and number 6 Oregon in October. A gauntlet that could define their season. Meanwhile, Maryland's path looks golden. With home games against Washington and Nebraska, and a road trip to UCLA, the Terps could enter their November 1st showdown with number 19 Indiana with a 7-0 record. And let's not forget, they're avoiding the Big Ten's elite teams like Ohio State and Penn State. But here's the twist. Maryland's success might not be as surprising as it seems. Their defense has been a nightmare for opposing offenses, and their young quarterback is thriving under pressure. Still, can they maintain this pace against tougher competition? And for Wisconsin, is Fickell's job in jeopardy, or is this just a hiccup in an otherwise promising season? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Maryland's undefeated start is sustainable, or will their schedule eventually catch up to them? Should Wisconsin consider a coaching change after this shellacking? Drop your opinions in the comments. Let's turn this into a conversation.